We move to the next project. We change technology and we move to geothermal. Sigurdur, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been interesting to be here for the last 2 days and following this conference. And I must admit that I somehow feel myself representing the forgotten child of the renewable energy in Europe, being the geothermal. But anyway, I think I'm the last presenter of this conference, so I think it's appropriate that I walk you through the status of the, I believe, the only true EGS project that has been funded so far by the NER 300. It was the first geothermal project to be funded in the first call, and surely it is a true EGS project. EU is all about abbreviation. You can see that if you read through the program schedule for this conference, and this one is probably one of the worst ones that has ever been presented, but it stands for South Hungarian Enhanced Geothermal System Demonstration Project, because it is clearly stated in the rules and regulations for the NER 300 that only innovative and demonstrative projects are eligible. The background of this project is that it has the background in the NER 300 decision from 2010. EU member state represented by the Hungarian Ministry for National Development, but in 2014, in September this year or August this year, it was taken over by the Hungarian Ministry for National Economy. Mannvit KFT, which originate out of the Icelandic company Mannvit, joined forces with an Hungarian company in the beginning of 2011. Mannvit's role is on the technical side, while EU Fire, the Hungarian one, is on the financial, communicational and planning side. Mannvit joined this project shortly before the deadline of the application in 2011, because as we all know, the NER 300 competition is similar to the European Song Contest, that you have your own competition within the country, and then there is a final one in Brussels. We joined shortly before the final one. Mannvit did. We submitted the application in May 2011 as requested, and during the application process, Mannvit was defined as the project sponsor. The project targets what is called category GEOB, Enhanced Geothermal System in compressional stress fields with nominal capacity of 5 megawatts. This is a very strict definition by the NER 300, what you are to achieve, especially if you compare to the state of the art of the EGS technology worldwide. But this is the rules that were laid down. Enhanced Geothermal Systems, or EGS, an artificial insulated geothermal reservoir created in a hot, dry rock geological formations. This is an unconventional geothermal system. You are not drilling down into the rock formation to look for water. you're looking for hot, dry rock. One of the most innovative issues about this project is reservoir creation by hydro-shearing, which we will use. We will not use fracturing, we will use hydro-shearing, which is an environmentally sound method and uses only water. It is different from what is used in the oil and gas industry. But it is a technology that is being developed and has been tested in the USA, for example in Newbury. And the aim is to transfer fluid, inject it into the reservoir, pump it up once heated, and utilize it for power and or possibly heat generation. So it is about drilling wells, creating flow path between the wells, circulate water that will absorb the heat from the rock, bring it to the surface and produce electricity. I think we can say this is a closed circuit, one way or the other. So it's a renewable, close to zero carbon option for supplying baseload electricity. Because geothermal, both conventional and unconventional, is a baseload production of energy. The scope and technical approach, in principle, the scope is drilling wells, reservoir creation, and a binary cycle on surface for power generation. The technical approach is an EGS in a compressional tectonic stress field. It's a multi-zone stimulated techniques for the hydro-shearing, environmentally safely method, we believe. We are drilling wells down to approximately 4 kilometers. An innovative downhole pump solutions are needed because of the high temperature. And if we can say that something is state-of-the-art in this project, it is the binary cycle that is producing the electricity. The project life cycle, we have put a lot of effort into define the project execution, to set up a detailed project execution plan. And it is in 6 project phases. The first one was the project definition and the NER 300 application. The second one was the preliminary design phase and the EIB due diligence. Then came the preparation phase, and all 3 phases are successfully completed, of course. And now we are in the process of starting what we call the exploration phase, following by an appraisal phase and then the construction. This project is about a lot of money. Therefore, we have a lot of decision gates scheduled throughout the project where a decision needs to be taken if we are on the right track or not. Because as I said before, this is a highly innovative project. This is a typical life cycle of a construction period of a geothermal project. And you can see the phases that I mentioned before. The horizontal line is the time, and the black dotted line is representing the risk in the project. The yellow line, starting at the gray end, finalizing in the green end, represents the execution phase. We are entering into the exploration phase. Exploration phase is about drilling. Exploration phase is about reservoir creation. Appraisal phase is about confirming what you found during your exploration. What does it mean in reality for geothermal projects? And this maybe makes geothermal projects different both from bioproject and wind. It means that you are not ready for final investment decisions until you are somewhere close to the end of the exploration phase or into the appraisal phase. You are very well into the project execution, having spent a lot of money. Because it is all about drilling, all about reservoir creation. And that's where the innovation is. I talked about decision gates before. We have many decision gates throughout the project, some of them being, is the concession in place, reservoir creation plan and method selected, issues of project design report, drilling quotation received, etc. and etc. The timeline and the status of the project. The project was awarded a close to 40 million euro grant in December 2012. For one reason or another, it was not at that point in time awarded any upfront payment of the grant. But I would like to stress that we have had very good cooperation and consultation with the NER 300 team through the member state, because we have to go through the member state, although that can be a delaying process. So the project was awarded an upfront payment of 23.6 million euro in 2014. Contracts, legally binding instruments were in place in December 2013. Geothermal concession contract was in place in August this year, so everything was set to be ready for the exploration. And in 2015, technical operational plan and environmental impact assessment, licensing completion for drilling, procurement completion of all long lead items, well siting and land acquisition, drilling of first well, and start of seismic monitoring. And that's probably where the general public will start to pay attention. In 2016, stimulation and testing of the first well, drilling of the second well, stimulation and testing of the second well, testing and proof of concept. And that's when we get close to final investment decision. I would like to make one final comment in alignment with this slide and with what I said before. If there was one key word that went through the speeches, all good speeches we had yesterday, it was the word innovation. And everyone was stretching on innovation, and there was even one guy who stretched on innovation breakthrough in his speech here yesterday. I must say, to be fully honest, that coming from a country which has been dealing with geothermal since the beginning of the last century, I must say that the NER 300 rules and regulations in this respect, where they require innovation and demonstration projects, where they require only unconventional geothermal methods to be eligible, I must say that there are quite a contradiction rules within the regulations that can hinder a project like an EGS project to reach its final stage. I can explain it later if required, but one issue in this respect, and my final remark is, why is all disbursement of the grant related to Megawatt Online? Because projects like this EGS and others can contribute a lot to the development of this technology prior to getting to be producing Megawatt Online. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sigurdur. Indeed, you mentioned that in your case, drilling is the innovative part of the project before you start producing the energy. We listened to the three projects. I'm not sure if Filippo mentioned to you, but just to get the concept of the current state of play of the NER 300, these are 3 out of 39 or 40, 39 projects, Filippo. One CCS, the other one on renewable energies, and we have also projects on integration as well. We concluded with the presentations, so now the floor is open to pose any questions or comments that trigger discussion between yourselves and the panelists.